welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
You know, Nelson, I want to start with a declaration, if you don't mind.
Yep.
I declare that before this year is out, the year of our Lord 2021,
Okay.
at some point on this show, I'm going to prank you.
Oh,
Okay?
I see. Okay.
And I want you to know, and I want the listeners to know, that it's coming before this year is out.
Okay.
I won't tell you any more, but
What if
it's coming.
What
And-
if I can pick up the prank?
Well, here's
What's on the line here?
here's what I want to do. Is I want to over the next I won't do it every week, but every few weeks, maybe say or offer you something that seems like it could be a prank. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But they won't be.
Oh, all right.
They won't be pranks.
Okay.
And I want to see if you can smell the rat.
Okay. All right.
So I'll be like, Nelson, do you want this tin of salted peanuts? Just regular salted peanuts. Why don't you open that tin of salted peanuts up?
I do love salted peanuts. So,
But there's every chance a spooky snake will jump out.
Yeah, but honestly, that's the one that you should go with, because I will always open a tin of salted peanuts. It's worth the risk every time. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I'm not. I don't know. I'm uncertain.
It depends what you classify as a prank. Because one show I might just kick you straight in the nuts and go, pranked! And you're like,
Yeah.
how is that a prank?
I don't. That's true. We need a.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to declare what a prank is. I want the wiggle room.
Okay. no ground rules apparently for this prank.
Yes. Also, if people will indulge me just a minute, I actually should have announced this last week. But season 2 of Cancel Movie Report is finished, and you can actually binge the whole season now, which actually,
Oh my God,
from
the
what
whole
I've heard,
season.
is actually what people sometimes prefer. So the week-to-week format that we put it out with, maybe people prefer to binge it. You can do that now. It's all finished.
Also, on an unrelated note, this episode marks the end of the season 1 of Reddit on Reddit podcast. So you can binge all this in one go as well, if you like.
We never said it explicitly at the top, but we do like our seasons to be about 257 episodes.
Yeah, about. They might change.
But what do you think of the first season? Let us know.
Let us know. We put a lot of hard effort into it.
Season 2, whole new cast.
We do. Yeah, we've actually got a lot of exciting things coming in season 2.
Yeah.
A lot of it isn't confirmed, so I can't necessarily tell you that. But what I can hint at is there will be a prank at some point. So.
That's a cliff. That's an end of season 1 cliffhanger that gets you back for season 2.
Yeah. All right, Camber, let's get into it. This first one is by Scorched Earth Policy 1. And you want to in the subreddit, Crazy Ideas.
It's a classic Reddit on Reddit subreddit.
Classic Reddit on Reddit subreddit. Now, before I get into this, I'm aware that, people are sort of over COVID and COVID talk in general. So if our COVID talk is fatiguing listeners, much apologies. I think last week we spoke about how we're currently still in lockdown.
Yeah, we're trying to be COVID light.
COVID light, yeah. So, but I felt that it was important to bring up this one because it could mark the end of COVID, perhaps.
Great.
But this is the crazy idea by Scorched Earth Policy 1. Spray COVID positive cases with blue semi-permanent body paint. It's flawless. The dye will rub off after 2 weeks, the exact period of infectiousness. In the meantime, everyone will know to stay the heck away from the blue people. Who the hell would want to even go outside with blue dye all over you? Nothing like socially enforced home isolation.
Okay. So the idea is someone tests positive, spray them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yep. There are some. I just want to pressure test this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to put you in place of the poster and fire some questions at you.
Okay.
So generally, in my experience, in the COVID tests I've had to have, thankfully have come back negative, is I go to the testing center, I get tested, and then I go home and I wait for the results. So in this case, when the result comes in, do I spray myself?
No, it can't be trusted.
This is my first point. My second point is I actually think the biggest spreaders of COVID are people that don't get tested.
Yes. But I do have a solution for that.
Great. So,
solution number one, you know what? It's been a problem during COVID? People losing their jobs. It's very unfortunate. We've been fortunate enough to, I think, keep doing what we're doing. One of the lucky ones. But you know what? Sometimes, God closes a window and Satan opens a door. Something like that, I think. So I think what should happen in this situation is if you've been out of a job, you go around with blue dye. I imagine you look pretty much like a Ghostbuster. Is how I'm envisioning the get up.
Famously. Oh, right. The people. I thought you meant the people with COVID.
No.
I was going to say Ghostbusters famously blue. But I see what you mean.
No.
They've got the jumpsuits.
They've got the jumpsuits, the backpack, the big huge gun.
Yeah.
It's hooked up to some blue dye.
Yeah.
You do house calls to people once they've got their test results back. Knock on the door. If they don't answer, legally you can break through the window. You can do, this is to get people to, encourage people to open their doors. This person, the Ghostbuster, if you will, is allowed to steal one item from your house if they are forced to break in.
Yeah, okay.
But either way, you're getting sprayed with blue dye. If you cooperate, maybe they'll do it in the front yard, and you won't get blue dye all over the inside of your house.
That's true, because if you don't cooperate and they have to go through the window, there is a chance you're. I mean, I guess if you're with your family, there's a chance they have COVID anyway, and they're going to be safe, and they're going to spray the whole family.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. To bring up your second point, I think what should be mandatory now we've had some protests in I imagine everywhere. I'm sure everywhere's had them, but recently we had one in Queensland because Queensland and New South Wales, they're on the border from each other. I think that's where the protest was held. They've gone into like their first lockdown, basically. maybe second or third or something. We're in our sixth or something, so we're professionals at it.
Just last week passed the 200th day in lockdown for us Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, they're annoyed about them going into the lockdown for the third time or something, and people are marching down the streets. It was also, I think, against having vaccine passports and things like that. I think spray everyone there at the protests in blue. In fact, if you could have just for safety, if you could have something that marks them more permanently for a longer period of time, maybe 2 months, if we get some sort of dye that does that work, because then to avoid those people the most. They're like, not only are they not complying, but they're like the worst offenders. They'll go out and start making out with each other. Yep. And those are the people you got to avoid. So
I would say if this came into law, and let me just check now the holes in this, now that you've taken care of my questions. Yeah, it's watertight. Okay, good.
Yeah, none. Sealed it.
I think that for the most part, this doesn't affect too many people. The one person on earth I wouldn't want to be is the manager of the Blue Man Group when this law gets passed.
Oh, yeah.
Because your Vegas shows, they're empty. They're absolutely empty.
You might have people busking on the street and blue dye.
You might have to pivot very briefly for the next couple of months to the Green Man Group or something.
Yeah. You could be called the Blue Man Group, but not blue because of the COVID reason. You could briefly change your name to maybe. People might turn up at your show.
Stick that on a market.
Yeah, that's right. But otherwise, flawless idea.
Yeah. Now that we've checked it, it does check out.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I do wonder whether I saw another stupid, crazy idea was like create a disease that's actually a vaccine for COVID. So the anti-COVID people are actually getting the vaccine anyway by spreading it to each other. Okay. And that, Cambo, also has no holes and is genius.
Yes. It's just a shame those boffins, those scientists, never thought of it.
Yeah. They didn't think about it.
I bet you they won't do it just because they're embarrassed now.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God, some Redditor had to point out that this is what we should do. I'm so embarrassed by it.
Let's pretend it doesn't work.
Yeah. Do you know what would be great though, actually? This would be perfect, is if you do a conspiracy theory against the conspiracy theorists, is you actually say, yeah, this is out there, have press conferences, scientists that are like, yep, we've released a disease into the world, which is actually the vaccine for COVID.
Yep.
Look, we still encourage everybody to get their vaccination just in case it doesn't reach them, in time. You should really get it now. But otherwise, it will eventually reach everybody. And so then you've got all these people that are like so anti-vaccines that they'll stay indoors for forever. And I think that's
I'm interested to know as a strategy. I would say that this isn't everybody, but there are a subsection of people that don't want the vaccine, and it's to do with like freedom of choice, right? To say, you can't make me do that. I will do what I want to do, and if I don't want to, I ain't going to get it. And I wonder what kind of power reverse psychology would have on them if they brought a message being like, you can't have it. You can't have this vaccine. It's not for you. And they'd be like, you know what? I deserve my freedoms. You're giving me that fact. I choose it. You can't tell me what I can't have.
Yeah. It would work.
Yeah.
It would work for sure.
Like, I think that you need to set up some kind of system in which there's a walk-up vaccination center. And when people walk up, you're like, sorry, you can't have it. Not for you. Not for you.
What it should be is a center where you have to go. If you don't want it, the government's like, fine. If you don't want it, you can go up, but you just have to go to this place and say you don't want it.
Yeah.
And before they even say anything, you're not. Whoa, we're turning you away. You can't have it.
Yeah.
Catch them before they.
I think what you need to do is leak online. Someone being like, I know the secret way to actually get it. There's a secret way to get it that they don't want you to know about. Which is you say that you have a pre-existing condition and that they'll give it to you. Because they're the same people, if they don't want to wear a mask in a store, they'll be like, I have an illness and you can't ask me about it.
Yes.
Like they love a loophole to get out of rules. So you leak the rule out online about how to secretly get the vaccine. Because then they'll be like, I got him. I got one up on the stupid government.
Yeah, I'm in independent state or whatever that bullshit is. All right, so basically solved. We're going to implement these ideas, and COVID will be over in no time. You're welcome, world. All right, now it's time for Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by The Boulder 027. If you could bitch smack one person with no consequences, who would it be and why?
It's a great question because the question is, do you go for like personal or do you go for the betterment of all people? You know what I mean? Like, like maybe there's someone that annoys you and I personally, or even just people in Australia, but then maybe there's someone globally that we could bitch slap. You know what I mean? How do you think we tackle this?
You could tackle it a few ways. I think if I'm going globally, here's the thing. I imagine if this rule comes up one day, I'm assuming everybody gets one.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's just how I imagine this scenario comes up.
Well, it's funny that you say that because now that you've said that, I would more carefully consider my slap now.
Yeah, because like obviously one thing that comes to mind is Trump. He's going to get slapped. I don't need to worry about that one. That's covered by probably tens of thousands of people. So I think in that case, I also sort of think, okay, this is where my mind went instantly when I read this one, is I'm tempted to slap a really nice person.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, that's an
like,
interesting
let's say
thought process, but I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, okay. Because let's say, just off the top of my head, somebody we've spoken about before on the podcast who's inherently very nice, people consider very nice, is Keanu Reeves, right? Mm-hmm. He's been, altruistic in some ways and sort of seems to look out for people in general. Yeah. I want to know if I could go up to him. First of all, I'd get to meet him. That'd be great. Keanu, I'm such a big fan.
Yeah. You need to get your fan questions out of the way pre-slap.
Yeah. He's like, sorry, this is so weird. I thought I had an appointment with somebody that was going to bitch smack me. But are you for something else? I'm like, no, that's me. Yeah. I know I've just been telling you for the last 45 minutes how much of a fan I am and, really appreciate your work and it's really great, but I am the one that's about to bitch smack you. Because I want to know how he'd react,
Okay.
Get the nicest person in the world that you wouldn't think harms a fly, and you slap them, and then I want to see their reaction, and then for me to also be able to say, no consequences.
I am going to. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I like your thought process, and I'm going to follow it to a point, and then I'm going to veer off. Right?
Okay.
I like the idea to slap someone that everyone loves. Right? But I'm going to go for different reasons. So I'm going to pick Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay, everybody loves him. Yeah.
And there's a few reasons I want to do this. One, for what you just said, it's interesting to know how he will react. He seems like a nice guy. Maybe it's a big act.
Yeah, but if he just loses his shit, you'd be like, it was all an act. Apparently, getting slapped in the face turns you to an asshole.
I'm going to slap him as hard as I can, and then I'm going to go, is that anything to you? Like, do you even that I've broken my hand. Like, I think this hurt me more than it hurt you, but I just want to know, does my hardest slap even register for you?
You have a weirdly muscular face. Yeah. Did that.
And thirdly,
did that even hurt?
Because of this is the no consequences part. Forever down in the pub, I'd be like, I bitch slapped The Rock. Oh yeah, big time. Big time. He didn't even do anything either.
He just took it. He just took it. Back. And cried like a baby. You can just make stuff up at that point, can't there? There's no reason why you couldn't. Get a photo of you doing it at the same time. That'd be great. Prove it to everyone. Yeah.
I'll have to. If I'm going to film it, I'm going to have to hide the pain of my hand once I do it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I'll be there going, oh, good, I got you, but there clearly like tears in my eyes.
Yeah. You can edit it in post, Campo.
My hand will just be floppy.
You know what you should do? You should wear a green screen mask over your head when you do it, so that you can fake put a fake smile in.
Put a more confident head on later.
Yeah.
Plenty more where that came from, buddy. My other head will say.
That's right. Yeah. Which is so out of sync with. I like the idea that your body is kind of slumped over and like
it's like hopping.
It's jolting up and down from the weeping that you're doing, but the words are strong. Yeah, I don't know why. Just for some reason, there's a lot of people that I can hate in the world, but for some reason, I just want to smack the nice people. I think that would be. Well, like, what if you got to slap the Queen? Wouldn't that just sort of be like...
I would be legitimately scared of killing her.
I know, I would be too.
She's so old, Nelson. She's so old. One big slap could do it, you know what I mean? And then you're the guy that murdered the Queen, but no consequences.
No consequences.
How often do you get away with murdering the Queen with zero consequences?
Yeah. It's sometimes you've got to use a loophole just because it's there, not because you want to. All right. Here's another one. This is by Silo. You are given $2 trillion and 20 years to build something in the USA. What do you build?
20 years and $2 trillion. Mm-hmm. Maybe I've just realized that my aspirations are so small. Because it is hard to. That's a staggering amount of money.
I think. You can build whatever you want for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Though as well, there are some, I guess, slight limitations with $2 trillion, but it's a lot.
I would. Do you think $2 trillion is enough to set a network across America? To like make some kind of node go to every house in
2 trillion. I don't reckon it would be actually.
Okay, I'd have to focus on the densest populated states then. Right?
Okay.
I would use my 2 trillion to focus on the most densely populated states in the United States. So I apologize to anyone listening from a rural state, but you may have to get secondhand information. And then that node that goes to everyone's house every Monday evening, our time, or I guess Sunday night or Sunday morning, American time, this podcast will play in every house.
Yeah. Unmutable. We've actually built with the trillions of dollars. We've actually built speakers into your walls. You can't actually get away from it at all.
No.
It's also, you know what you're thinking? You're like, oh, I'll go to a park for an hour. Nope. Speakers in the trees.
Mandatory. It's not. You can't opt out. It's mandatory.
Yeah.
This is not an opt-in, opt-out situation.
Yeah. But you also do have to pay a monthly subscription fee.
Do you think people would take the offer, which is like, we will double the speed of your internet for free, but every Monday, this podcast will play out loud and it's unmutable.
Yeah.
It goes for an hour and a half every Monday of your week, and you get for free double the speed of your internet.
Double the speed of your internet. In Australia, that's just like, if we double the speed of our internet, that's like just acceptable.
Yeah, it's acceptable
in America. But in America, that might be more significant, it's good because you could be like, well, you could, isn't Google Fiber, I think, the fastest, or I don't know, one of the fastest, I think, technologies. I just remember hearing about like some billionaire oil tycoon who was like, get me that Google Fiber. And he apparently paid like millions of dollars, maybe billions, I don't know, to like send Google Fiber. I think it was like through another state or city or something. Like a ton of people benefited, and because he had like this house in the middle of nowhere, and so they had to build the infrastructure for everywhere else to eventually get to him. But it was all on his dollar, It was little, and so I think it's possible in a way.
I so hope it was for such an arbitrary reason.
Yeah.
Like
loading Pornhub faster.
Yeah. It's like it loaded, but the quality was a bit low. So it'd be good to get that in 1080p actually.
Yeah. He was really into Angry Birds, but struggling to download the new skins that he could get.
It was on a Zoom call, and it dropped out every now and then, and it was annoying. Sometimes people's video froze for a second, and it was just a bit annoying.
Yeah. For sure, that would be it. If I was a billionaire, I would absolutely fix that with money. The minute stutters.
I love stories of people that have lost touch with money. There was a story, I don't know whether we've told this on the podcast before. How do I say this without sounding weird? We both know someone who is like, he's a very, very rich old man. Right? We don't know him very well, but we know him. And there's and he's like very rich. And there's stories about someone got him like the newest, fanciest laptop at the time, a couple of years ago. I forget what it is. And he couldn't get his head around double click. And they would say, you need to double click this. And he would click, and then he'd wait, and then he'd click again, and he'd go, it doesn't work. And they go, no, so you need to double click quicker. See, like this, double click, and he'd click, and then wait, and he'd click again, and goes, it doesn't work. And he literally, he tried it for about 5 minutes. He gave them the laptop and said, get me a new laptop.
Yeah. None of this double clicking business.
None of this double clicking. Get me a new one.
Yeah.
So I would love to be that out of touch.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I imagine there's a version of me that will be like that in the future. Just like our parents now are terrible with technology. We'll get to somewhere. There'll be triple click, Canberra. I can't fathom that.
We've been so programmed through our whole lives to click twice.
Yeah. I'll double click and then I'll click again. That's like,
or it'd be like double click, but with the other mouse button.
Yeah. Oh, that would be the
double
worst,
right click.
actually.
Oh no, thank you.
Double
No,
right
thank
click.
you.
Get the hell out of here. Not in my country, Cam.
That's when you turn the computer off and never turn it on again.
Yeah. You ask for a new laptop, an old one. Anyway, you want to know what I would build in the United States, Cam?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you. That was so genuine. I thought you would be like, no, I don't really care. Let's move on. This is what
I don't care. Sorry.
I thought about big structures and stuff, and I've always thought what is really cool is from movies, one of the coolest kind of biggest structures is from the Truman Show. Where they build the big, huge dome.
Yeah, with the town.
And it's totally, town in there, all the actors. Mm-hmm. Now, there's sort of two scenarios that I think I could get benefit from doing this. Because I think you wouldn't able to, like, ethically get away with, actually doing the Truman Show. It'd be too hard to get laws passed and whatever to do that. Not to mention, people probably wouldn't watch. Let's be honest. That'd be so boring a show.
There's better stuff on these days.
Yeah. But I would build this huge dome and people would be like, oh my God, what is this? Like, it's taking up so much space. What's going on here? And all the signs everywhere would say, it's going to be the reality TV show, like the Truman Show. This is kicking off season 2.
Okay.
So you just give everybody a little bit of doubt of like, what was season
Did I miss this?
1? When did
What's
season
going on?
1? I can't, and nobody can give them an answer.
No.
We're like, well, I mean, this is just season 2. Don't worry about it. And everybody thinks they were in season 1 of the Truman Show, and then they got boring, probably. But also, I wonder if I could build that life, right? Build the dome, and then live in it myself with actors, because. And like, maybe it wouldn't work ever, or maybe it would just take a significant amount of time, where I eventually live my life in kind of, sort of forget in a way, almost like selectively forgetting that, and then end up just, I think I would just love the idea of
Nelson,
having a life where it's so free, people are so friendly to you all the time, everything just works out for you.
Can I pitch you an idea? I want to slightly alter your idea, right? You build this, you get in there with all the actors, but then I shoot you with an amnesia thing so you don't remember, and see how long it takes you to work it out.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
And
my God,
people
maybe
can
that's...
bet how long
Yeah.
Nelson will take to work out that he's in a TV show.
Maybe that's how you ethically get away with it, is before people can sign up to it, be like, hey, put me in. I'll sign the waiver, and then you erase part of their memory. We need to build that technology. And
we need an additional $2 trillion in funding.
Yeah. You could, honestly, erasing people's memory would allow for so many experiments. It'd be great. I feel like you could finally, end the discussion of like nature and nurture and things like that, if you could erase people's memory, because then you've got the exact same person and you just put them in slightly different circumstances to see which is like, the better off scenario.
Movies have led me to believe that it's just a simple bonk on the head.
Yeah. Obviously, that's where we'll start.
I've got one last pitch for you, because I think your initial idea was you like the idea of messing with people, right? That's what all the season 2 stuff is about.
Yeah.
I reckon for less money, and you can pocket some of this $2 trillion at the end, you find a small American town that is a little bit isolated, right? So it's not inconceivable that some people haven't really ventured that far outside. Maybe it's an Alaskan town somewhere. and you spend enough money putting up enough things like lighting rigs in the sky or film crews around, and also signs around town that say you're not part of a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And see if you
okay.
can convince that town or people in that town that they might be part of a Truman Show.
They might be part of the show. Well, yeah, you could do the thing where I think you could make it less obvious. But like in the Truman Show, you know how they have like one of the lighting rigs falls down.
Yeah.
And then they have like, oh, it was from a German spy plane or something like that. Like you just put one of those in the middle of the road somewhere.
Like I think you have like a film crew kind of having their break off the side, and then when someone turns the corner, they go, "Oh shit!" and they run behind a wall.
Yeah, a fake wall. Yeah, I like this idea. Just mess with people.
We'll torment a town for 20 years.
Honestly, if I had $2 trillion, there isn't much I can't otherwise buy the entertainment of, so I may as well try and destroy this town and their psyche. All right, Kevin, we should move on to Today I Advice. So now it's time for Today I Learned. What are these about? Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. This Today I Learned was by Deleted, but it was cross-posted to us by Just Judging Reddit. Today I learned the creator of The Sims got the idea for the video game while trying to rebuild his life after a house fire.
You know what? I'm glad that that's what it was. I thought you were going to say after they built a pool, let someone in the pool, and then took away the ladder.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, this person's... Hang on a second, this could be a good game.
Okay. I think I could turn this into something that other people would like, but less criminal.
I was... Am I wrong here? I thought The Sims was a spin-off of Sim City. So obviously the person must have worked for the same company and had this happen.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure entirely. I mean,
or are they just really similar
they are
games?
part of I think the same company, but really it's just about simulation. So maybe they were in that world already, and they were like, you know what? Instead of a city, why don't it just be about
my house
burning down? Yeah. Honestly, the worst part about the Sims game is when there's a fire or anything terrible that happens.
Yeah.
I like the idea that in the Sims, the most enjoyable thing, much like my own putting myself in the Truman bubble, is everything goes pretty well according to plan.
Do you think from the original pitch to what went to market, they had to tone down certain elements? Because I think that the main pitch is like, so what you do is you build this house again, right? You build this house exactly what you want. Imagine your dream house, but it's real susceptible to fires. And like houses burning down is going to be a big part of this game, and eventually they had to wean him off that. Be like, okay, sometimes your house can burn down, but we'll make it about the building of the house. And he's like, I do want the fire in there.
Yeah, we'll call it Sim House Burning. Yeah.
Experience what it's like when your house burns down. That could be the tagline.
Yeah. I think it is such a funny concept of a game, you know, like you're right. The idea of even just pitching like The Sims regularly, and being like, you know what, this is a game where you can just sort of live the life of like somebody else, but it's you control them. And they learn to cook, and they learn to clean, and they have jobs. They go to work, and I can't imagine. Like, props to whoever was sitting in that meeting, going, "This is brilliant. This is a great idea." Yeah. Because I would absolutely be one of those people that's like, "What the? Like, fire this guy. This is a terrible idea." So, like Sim City, you can't at the moment be a city planner, and you know there's no efficiencies. But I can live my life at the moment. It sounds boring as hell to do that.
I think there's something wish fulfillment-y about it, because in real life, I think building a house and living in a house is a dream of many people, right? It's like this ultimate freedom to do it, and especially of our generation, even though we played it as kids. I think when you're building a house in The Sims, you're like, I could never have this. You know what I mean? Like, there is something kind of wish fulfillment-y about it. But
Yeah.
I do want to know if at the pitch everyone was on board, or whether they were asking questions like, so you build these people, right? You can make them any kind of person you want. They're like, that's correct. So can they have superpowers? No, they're regular people.
No, just regular run-of-the-mill, very boring people.
and so we'll hear the conversations. Here's the thing. That'll be gibberish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the worst part of human interaction? The language. Get rid of that.
They just do a bunch of meeps and leaps and whatevers, and we'll just be gibberish.
Yeah. I do know, like, I think the game is actually quite brilliant. I think there's a lot of hate for it, probably in the last, I want to say like 5 years, maybe more, because I think it's got very, what do you call it? Like extra add-ons have become a big thing.
The expansion packs are always a bit of a selling point, weren't they? Now you can
get that's right.
Pets.
I think
whatever.
I think it's the game with like most expansion packs ever. But I think even then, apparently, I'm not too sure, but I think some of the newer ones are just a little bit more greedy in trying to get you to pay for the smallest kind of upgrades, because they know some people really love that stuff. But because I know it's actually a huge game in the architect community. There's actually a subreddit, I don't know what it's called, but it's just where people build houses in The Sims, and they show each other. So it's kind of like interior design / architects that they build these interesting houses, because you can, I think, import your own sort of textures and stuff. So it's you're not limited to what's just in the game. And I think if you go to a lot of extents, you can even build your own furniture and things like that, like design it in another program and import it into The Sims, and which I think is so amazing that kind of came out from that game. I actually have a friend who's really into it. And one day she came over to my apartment, and she was only there. We were playing D&D, actually. So we were only there for, I don't know, a few hours or something. And the next time I saw her, I played with her brother as well. Her brother goes, did you tell Nelson what you did? And she's like, no, don't bring this up. And he made her tell me. And she had redesigned my apartment in The Sims, and designed it, so... Yeah, kept the architecture the same, but interior designed it to make it
Did it look better
fancy.
than your apartment?
No TV camera. It was fucking rubbish. Because
it would be a real...
I was like...
It'd be a real kick in the balls if you looked at it and you're like, oh, that's way better.
Aesthetically, honestly, it was way better.
Right.
But
no TV.
It lacked a TV, and I was like, what do you think I am? Some sort of, well-adjusted person that can get by without TV? I don't think so.
What's this thing with all those things on it? That's a bookcase in their books. I won't have it.
Yeah. All right, Cameron, I think we should move on, and we should get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Hamitch94. When you're in high school, a girl dating someone who's finished school is seen as the height of cool. When you're out of school, dating someone who's still in school is loser behavior and often creepy.
Well, yeah, it's all about the perspective, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I actually love this shower thought, because I think it is definitely a chalk and cheese kind of situation, where it's like, because I remember people in my school that were sort of doing that as well, like girls that were dating older guys that are in university or something, and you're just like, yep, they're a really cool person. But then as soon as you leave school and you realize it's like you meet that person at your uni or whatever that's dating a high school person, and you're like, whoa, that is weird. That is weird. Like, even if it's, legal, obviously, you would definitely want it to be legal regardless. But it's just kind of like, oh, this is a weird thing for an older person to do, to date a high school person. Even though, I mean, I'm not like against it anyway. It just seems weird, like, because obviously once they leave high school and ages can be kind of irrelevant and whatnot. So if you two people love each other, then sure, that's fine. But it just, regardless, has this creepy vibe about it. And it's so
I kind of think this, and I hope this isn't just a reflection of my bitterness, but about like people that were like super popular in high school. At the time, you're like, oh, they're awesome. Look how popular they are. Look like they seem so cool. And then like, give it 10 years, and you're kind of like, what do you reckon they're doing? Like, like the popularity in high school. I wonder what it nets you later in life. I just don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I think,
is there gain to it, or is it a short-term high that you then chase forever?
Yeah. Is high school your formative years, the highlight of your life? Because then you've got a problem if that was, being the cool kid in high school was the best part of your life. I think I reckon that it probably goes two ways. I reckon there's some people that are like almost are too confident in the like, because I'm cool in high school, I can care less about what happens in future sort of thing. But then I think there's others that are probably like, no, I understand this is high school. And, maybe it's not super, a super jarring moment. Maybe they just go to uni and then I think what it sometimes takes is like, because in high school, it's like, to be cool, it's not that you were necessarily the most intelligent or the best worker, all those things. Like it's can often be the opposite of that. But I think as soon as you go into a workplace or you go into university and you actually realize intelligence, in university is kind of what's valued. Like it's the people that are doing really well that can sort of have a lot of friends because you have respect for them, I think. I think that kind of sort of intelligence comes with respect and and even passion, I think can come along with that too. Maybe you're not the most intelligent person, but if you're really passionate about a particular subject, then you can kind of make friends and you realize that just that cool persona really isn't anything if you don't have like an identity behind that. Yeah. And I think at the workplace, in fact, I used to tell people this when I was a manager at the cinemas. I used to tell new recruits, I said, I promise you won't make friends here if you don't do a good job, because like that's my advice to you. If you want to make friends here, do a good job, because people actually like working with people that are good at their job, because it means they don't have to pick up the slack and whatever, It's not about being the cool guy. It's about doing your job really well, and other people respect that, and that's how you form friendships. But
that's a bit of life advice from old Cambo and Nelson right there for any of our younger listeners.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We didn't think it was going to go that way, but it did.
But but also in both cases, we haven't been the cool dude at school.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That could be way better. Maybe you should do that.
Are we the cool guys of podcasting?
Oh, no. I mean, obviously, Joe Rogan's right at the top. Am I right, Canvas?
Well, yeah.
That was a joke.
Yeah,
that was a joke because.
But the thing is,
that was a joke with layers, because we obviously think definitely not. But the extra layer on top of that is other people do, but also I think he does. So
definitely.
Anyway, here's another one. This by Fake Brains. People who drive loud cars must think we're looking at them because we're either impressed or envious of their car, when it's more likely we're annoyed at how loud they're being.
Have you ever been impressed by a single car?
Not ever. And I don't understand. I think even if you really love cars, I think there's a difference between like, that's a cool car and, that's just a really loud, obnoxious person, revving their engine.
I think now, this I think just shows what a non-rev head I am. I'm impressed by really silent cars. If a car goes past, I didn't hear that at all. That's so quiet. That's incredible.
That almost ran me over. I didn't hear it coming. That is impressive.
Have you ever been inside a fancy car and it's really quiet when it's driving? That always impresses me.
Yeah,
That's
true.
You can't hear a peep. This is nuts.
I was impressed by the car that I have now. When I very first got it, I hadn't had a car where the motor turns off like at the lights if it's all the way down, and that was impressive enough to me. I was like, oh my god, I'm not even idle. It's just off. But I don't like. I've never experienced, and granted, I know I have a small sphere of people around me that obviously have the same sort of values as I do, but I've never heard anyone be impressed by someone being in a really loud car, taking off at the lights. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is that person think? Like, has that person seen somebody else doing that and be like, shit, that's cool, and I'm going to do that?
See, my brother is this, I think, to a T. He like strips down and builds cars. And he's had every kind of ridiculous car that you can think of. The real loud ones, the tiny little zippy ones. They're like in the original Fast and Furious. They're like the little Asian cars that they go really quick. He's had some of those. So I reckon he would, even if he doesn't vocalize it, because he's a family man now, so he drives more family-friendly cars. I reckon if he was at the lights and someone sped off in a big, loud car, a bit of him would go, that's sick.
Yeah,
that was pretty sick because that's what he used to do,
Yeah. I mean, I just find that so weird a concept to be like, man, that is so cool. That's sick. That loud sound, how so cool. Anyway, I mean, different strokes for different folks. I guess. All right, Cambo, I think we should now move on into podnapping.
Oh my god, I'm being podnapped! Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another podcast, and we do it ourselves.
It's your week.
It's my week. It's my week this week, and I've got. I'm actually podnapping a real podcast this time.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since you've done this.
It's been a while, yeah. But I'm podnapping the Hamish and Andy podcast, which is a really famous. Well, it actually started as a radio show in Australia. Now they just do podcasts, and so they did one that was. A survivor theme, and so they had a few people call up, and they basically, I want to say it's like quick Survivor.
Yeah, it's like rapid fire Survivor without any of the. You don't have to wait weeks and weeks. We're doing it in 10-second increments.
Which honestly is the best part about Survivor is we've just nailed it down to the best part, which is the making of alliances and the voting people off. That's the best part.
Nelson, we need people to do this. Is that correct?
That's correct. So we have enlisted some people at the midnight hour. I've managed to get some people into the Discord, which is where we are right now. So in just a moment, we're basically going to start. We're going to get everyone to introduce themselves. They're going to say their name. And that's pretty much it, because we've only got a short amount of time. We've really got to nail this down. So we're just one after the other. We're going to go in order, I think, that people can see on the Discord app, if they can see that. So we're going to start with Doc, and then go to the last person. And then we're going to have 10 seconds time where people can quickly forge alliances. And then after that 10 seconds, we're going to cut everybody off. I'm gonna mute people. I'm gonna deafen people, and then one by one, we're gonna get them to vote somebody off. Maybe they'll stick to their alliances. Maybe they won't. Maybe 10 seconds is not enough time to create an alliance in the first place. I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Would you encourage in that 10 seconds to be as chaotic as possible and get your alliance in line?
Yeah. I think that's.
Nelson,
I mean, there's many strategies to Survivor. I'm no expert, so.
Nelson, would you like an official kickoff here?
Okay. Yep. Do it.
All right. Here we go. Now this is Radio Survivor. All right. Go ahead, Nelson. Let's get
Radio Survivor. All right. So if we could have Dark, I'm going by the Discord names. Dark, if you could just introduce yourself.
So I'm Dark. That's me.
Cool.
you.
All right. Next person along.
My name's Link. Hello, my name's Lynx.
Lynx.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Next
Lynx.
person.
Hello, my name's Mitch.
Very
Mitch. Great. Thank you. Next person.
Hi, I'm Ryden, or B-Town.
Fantastic.
Cool. And last person.
Hello, I'm Unholy.
Unholy.
Okay.
All right. That's all you've got so far. So
Based purely
Cameron's
on
gonna-
that. Based purely on that.
What did you think about the way that people introduced themselves? Was it a turnoff? Are you against them? Just
Yes.
just
Now,
by
based
their
on
tone.
just how people have introduced themselves, you're going to have 10 seconds to form alliances with each other. And then after that, we're going to vote someone off based on just how they introduce themselves. Are we ready? It starts in 3, 2, 1, now.
Ryden, I'm with you. I like your
B-Town.
accent.
Oh,
B-Town.
thank you.
B-Town, let's do this. Unholy here. Mitch, get on board.
Okay,
Final
okay,
three,
okay.
final
Time's
three,
up.
final
Time's
three.
up.
That's it.
Time's
That's
up.
time.
Time's
That's
up.
time. That's time. All right. I'm just gonna quickly mute everybody. That's pretty much exactly what I expected.
Yep.
But the thing is, I think that I'm just going to deafen everybody as well. So don't freak out if you can't, if you stop hearing. But so I think. I think this is going to get easier as time goes on.
Oh, yeah.
This first round, it's a big question mark over everybody. Okay, so here's Dark. I'm going to unmute Dark. Okay, Dark, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, Dark, could you please tell us who you would like to vote out?
I would like to vote out Nelson.
What's that? Sorry.
I would like to vote out Nelson.
Nelson is an
no,
NPC.
you can't. I'm not. I'm an NPC. I'm not in the. Yeah, I'm not able to be voted out.
Okay, I would like to vote out Unholy. 'Cause
Unholy.
He's unholy. He's unholy.
Because he's unholy. That's fair enough. That's what he gave. He should have changed his name to I'm a Nice Boy, because then you would never vote out I'm a Nice Boy.
Nelson,
all right,
I
thank you,
need
Dark.
to check. I need to check. Are you keeping notes of this?
Yeah, I'm keeping
great,
this.
great.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dark. All right, we're gonna move on to the next person here. Okay, Lynx, you're up. What? Who are you voting out?
I'm gonna vote out Dark. He sounds really tired.
He sounds
I
tired.
think he might want to do.
That's true. I think it's pretty late where Dark is right now. So,
How dare he?
He doesn't have the strength to go on.
okay, yeah, that's smart decision making. That's smart decision making.
Very
Okay,
good, very
thank
good.
you, Lynx. I'm gonna meet you again. Okay. All right, Mitch, you're up. Who would you like to vote out of the tribe?
I'll vote Dark out.
Oh, voting Dark out. Okay, any particular reason or?
He's the only one that didn't offer me an alliance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta hand it out. That's the strategy. Hand it out to everyone and hope that you're being included in everything. Okay, thank you, Mitch. We're gonna mute you again. Okay, we've got two more. Okay, Ryden, you're up. Who would you like to vote out of the tribe?
I'm gonna vote out Dark.
Ooh. Gonna vote out Dark? Okay. Why is that? Why? Any particular reason?
His intro just wasn't zesty enough.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah. Not zesty enough. That's fair enough. Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I'm gonna meet you again. This is great. Okay, now we've got Unholy. Unholy, who would you like to vote out of the tribe?
Well, I just feel like I didn't really connect with Dark on any sort of level at all, so I'm going to vote for Dark.
Oh, Dark's voted it out by Unholy. Okay, all right. Good start point. Okay, I'm going to
Bring everyone
mute
back?
you again. We're actually just going to we'll bring everybody back. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm just slowly bringing everybody back. Sorry, I have to do this a bit slowly.
We don't have the big budget of a huge radio station, do we, Nelson?
That's right. If only we had a producer behind the scenes clicking the buttons. Okay, everybody's back in now, and it's time for us to reveal who was voted out of the tribe. Unfortunately, it is time to go Dark.
How many votes did I get?
Yes. The tribe has spoken.
The tribe has spoken, Dark.
Look, Dark, we really appreciated your remarkable effort on segment 1, but unfortunately, you will not move on to segment 2.
We will say, though, stay on the line because you get your chance at revenge later on.
Yeah, you can see. Was maybe there's someone that you felt confident about that you want to vote for later to win the whole thing. Okay, all right, stay on the line, Dark.
Right.
Okay, I've just muted Dark. Now we can move on to round 2. So we're going to go in order, where we'll have we'll go down the list again. So we'll start with the Lynx, and you're just going to tell us what your favorite song is, and that's it. So Lynx, whenever you're ready.
No explanation, just the song.
Okay, Taswell by C418.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mitch, you're next.
Numb Linkin Park.
Okay.
Numb Linkin Park. Okay, cool. Thank you. Ryden.
Banana Pancakes by Jack Johnson.
Okay.
Oh, that's yep, cool.
No opinions,
And
Nelson. No
Unholy-
opinions.
No, sorry. No. It's just been a long time since I've heard that song. That's all. And Unholy.
Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Ooh.
Okay, alrighty.
Are we ready?
So, yeah, Cambo, count them in.
Yeah. Okay.
then-
You're set to make alliances based on this new information. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm going to be with Mitch.
I like some Linkin Park, Mitch. Let's B-Town, Mitch. Let's get
I
it
want
together.
to be with Mitch as well. So all three of us are aligned.
Hey, all of us are
Okay.
together.
No. Enough. Done. Cut that out.
All That's time. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. We've got some interesting. Everybody wants to be on.
Everyone wants
Mitch's
Mitch.
side. Yeah, everyone wants Mitch. But see, here's the thing. Can I just predict something, Cambo, for a second?
Okay.
I predict that what people will do is because everyone wanted to be on Mitch's side, you turned against him. The name you write down is Mitch. I'm expecting some backstabs here.
Okay. I'm excited to hear this.
Okay, all right. I'll get Lynx on. Here we go. Okay, Lynx, you're up. It's voting out for the second time. Who would you like to choose?
I'm going to choose Raiden because in that alliance, when we formed that alliance there, Raiden was the last to join.
Okay, yeah.
She was too late.
Got to.
Great.
Got to be quick. All right. Thank you, Lynx. I'm muting you now. All right. Let's go on to Mitchy there, Mitch.
Yep.
All right, Mitch. Who's it up to? Who are you going to vote off?
Well, Ryden hesitated, so it's got to be Ryden.
Oh, right in. Okay.
It's
The
interesting.
hesitation. Mitch, I want to ask, how did you feel about everybody wanting to jump on your side? You know, do you feel confident?
Yeah, look, it could be a strategy. They could all be voting for me when they said they were going with me.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, maybe.
It's good.
That's the...
It's healthy to be paranoid, Mitch. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think so. All right, thank you, Mitch. Okay, let's get Ryden. Are you there, Ryden?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Ryden, it's your choice now. Who would you like to vote for?
I'm gonna vote for Lynx.
For Lynx.
Lynx. Okay, cool. Now, you didn't jump on the Mitch bandwagon. Do you think that's hurt your chances in any way? Or you were the last to do so, I think?
Oh, I mean, I'm just trying to go with my own path, just follow.
Yeah. Hey, that respect. That's a lot of respect there. I'm on board with it. All right, thank you, Ryden. I'm going to mute you again. Okay, let's get Unholy. Unholy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you're the last voter. Who would you like to vote for?
Well, I do love Lincoln Park, and so I'm thinking sticking to our alliance with B-Town, and so we're going to vote. I'm going to vote for Lynx.
Oh, you know what you've done? You've made Lynx one step closer to the edge, Eden.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a little Lincoln Park joke for you there.
Okay, thank you, Unholy. I'm just going to put you on mute again. Okay, Canberra, we're at an impasse.
Yeah, okay.
Because we have 2 votes for Ryden and 2 votes for Lynx.
Now, to keep it brief, we're going to vote them both out.
Okay, we're going to vote both out.
We're coming up 15 minutes on this podnapping.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, okay. We're voting them both out. All right, absolutely. All right, I'm going to
bring everyone back.
Just slowly letting everyone back in. Slowly letting everybody back in. Oh, God, this is so time consuming. All right. Everybody, the tribe has spoken. And in an unprecedented turn of events, there are 2 eliminations this round. The eliminations are Ryden and Lynx.
No.
Lynx and Ryden.
Yes. So
thank you very much.
The thing is that the vote was tied, and we thought it was only fair, for the sake of fairness and brevity of this segment, that we just eliminate
mainly brevity.
both of you.
Mainly brevity. Fairness didn't really come into it.
In fact, some would say it's unfair.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Lynx and Ryder, I'm gonna take you off this call just temporarily, but you'll be back in a moment, and you can vote for the winner. So, just a moment. Okay, and now all right. So now we've just got Mitch and Unholy left, don't we?
Nelson, those who have been eliminated, do you want to let them listen but not speak so they can hear what's going on?
Well, I've actually just realized that this is. I mean, we're down to the very end. Sorry, guys. I'm bringing you all back in.
Oh, because we've only got 2 left.
Hey, everybody. Okay, you're all back in. I'm sorry, I forgot the rules. We're only down to 2 left. So this is the moment where it's Mitch versus Unholy. Okay. And we're going to get them to give us 10 seconds. There is a joined 10-second spot where Mitch and Unholy, you have to convince everybody else why you should win. You don't get your own 10 seconds.
No.
It's a joint 10 seconds.
Mitch, Unholy, are you ready for your 10 seconds in the spotlight? Joined, we need to stress again. Are you ready to pitch to all the people that you've eliminated that you should win? Because your time starts in 3, 2, 1, now.
B-Town, I didn't actually vote for you, mate. I really like what you're doing.
I'm an legit podcast listener.
Mitch has been a threat this whole game. Mitch has been a big threat. I've been the underdog.
That's enough.
Ooh. Oh, that was a tight 10 seconds.
Now I'm gonna say
you really can't get anything out.
Can I just say a bold move of the 2 Australians of a similar age not to identify themselves in that segment.
Yeah, very smart. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to mute and deafen Unholy and Mitch.
Stay with this, but you won't be able to hear us for a few minutes.
Okay, so hold on. Here we go. Okay, now I think it's sort of, should it be an open forum? This is a little bit uncouth, but I think maybe for the last voting, do we do, you know what, I think maybe a bit of discussion time between the last remaining players, and then we'll do the voting individually again. So, so guys, what are your thoughts at the moment? What are the pros and cons for each, Mitch or Unholy?
Unholy.
Unholy's a con. He's a con.
Unholy is a con.
First of all,
I mean, I think he has a bold strategy here.
First of all, I think we should kick him out of spite, just because he would always leave me with only 2 people, because he would make these massive alliances between like one person.
Okay, but sometimes in the real Survivor, sometimes you've got to respect the game that people play. Maybe that's impressive.
I don't care.
I'm guessing that because I was with our first, so I just spited him since last time. His name is Unholy. How dare he be unholy?
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Unholy.
Okay.
All right. Look, I'm gonna
lie about being a fucking podcast listener, so I don't.
Oh yeah,
that's
true.
Okay, I think we've had enough discussion, Nelson. We need voting.
All right. I'm gonna put everybody on mute again.
One by one, we'll come back.
Actually, I've just left you, Dark. You're still there.
Yeah.
Who are you voting for to stay into the tribe? Who do you think should
win?
Mitch. Mitch should win. Okay, that's one vote from Mitch. All right, thank you, Dark. I'm just going to mute you, but I'm not going to deafen you, so you can hear everybody. You just won't be able to say anything. Okay. Now, Lynx, you're on. I think we're pretty confident in the way you're going, but who would you like to vote for?
Ooh, okay.
This is to win.
To win. This is to win. You're voting to win.
This is hard. I'm actually gonna vote for Unholy, because Mitch lied about being a fuckhead podcast listener, and I think that's in my book.
That's a grievous mistake.
Yeah, we respect you taking the legitimacy of this show seriously. And really penalizing Mitch for that. So we appreciate that.
It's a serious crime. Okay, I'm going to mute you, Leaks, but I'm not going to deafen you, so you'll still be able to hear, and then we'll get the final vote. Okay, now we've just got one more person. Ryden, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ryden. We want your vote for who you want to win the whole thing.
Okay.
Who are you thinking?
I'm going to give it to Unholy.
Oh.
Unholy? Oh, yeah, okay. What's the decision behind Unholy?
Well, as soon as I got eliminated, he says that he didn't vote for me. That could be a bold-faced lie. I'm been horribly confused throughout this whole experience to work with.
Okay, you know what? That's as good a reason as any. Okay, I'm going to bring everybody back in. Okay, I've brought Lynx and Dark in. We have the votes. I'm going to bring in Mitch and Unholy in just a second.
Good you guys.
Okay.
Everyone's back.
All right, Mitch and Unholy. Thank you for waiting patiently. Everyone's back on the call. It is my pleasure, and perhaps with a bit of sadness. I'm not sure, depending who you're going for. I would like to announce the tribe has spoken. The winner of the 2021 Radio Survivor is Unholy.
My God.
Now, do you think, Nelson, perhaps it would be apropos to give Unholy the same 10 seconds to thank the people that voted for him?
Yep.
Okay. Unholy, you've got 10 seconds starting now.
Oh my God, guys, thank you so much. I will be a great ambassador as the sole survivor of Reddit on Reddit. I'm going to donate all the money to charity. There is money, isn't there, coming this way?
All right, shut up! No more!
Couldn't quite hear that last thing you were talking about there, unfortunately, before
there was a connection
your time
issue.
got cut off.
Connection issue or something.
But that was great. So thank you all very much. Thank you for participating. And until the next Radio Survivor, I am Nelson Elliott. Does he have an outro?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
There you go.
That's it. And now it's time for the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
Got one here from a classic listener, I'm going to say. Old mate
classic.
CN.
Oh, how do you spell that, Canberra?
This is going to surprise you, Nelson. It's not how you think.
Okay.
S-E-E,
really?
gap, E-N.
Oh, my God.
But don't be mistaken.
I was thinking it might be like the letter C and then the letter N.
Well, don't be mistaken. It does stand for cool nickname, as if you're...
Honestly, I had forgotten that that's what it was.
Yes. Paul
God, they're such
CN
assholes.
did allow us to pick their nickname, and that's what we picked.
Mm-hmm.
So they wrote in. Said, hello again. It's been a while since I wrote in. The 9th of November 2020, to be exact.
Whoa, that is ages ago.
I'm only writing in for such a minuscule thing. An unintentional joke was told a few episodes ago, and I simply couldn't bring myself to let it slip by unseen. You were talking about fuckhead podcast listeners and how it's not a title you can ask for which one of you said, do you think people ask to be knighted? No, sir! I thought this, albeit unintentionally, was fantastic. Being knighted makes you a sir, and so if you are not knighted, no sir makes sense in two different ways. I hope this was unintentional, otherwise I've just explained your own joke to you. Thanks for being technically funny, which is the best kind of funny. First of all, great reference there at the NCN to the TV series Futurama.
Yeah, which for some reason I brought up not even that long ago. Yeah. It was when Cousin Rowan had us go through our phones. Yeah. One of the things that... It's all linking back. This is all very smart. This is all very technically funny stuff. Yeah. And I'm loving it, all of it.
Should we say as a blanket statement, and you just tell me whether you vibe with this or not. If you find something funny and you don't know whether it's intentional or not, assume it's intentional.
It's totally intentional.
We would be more comfortable if you assumed everything that made you laugh on this show was intentionally that way.
100% of the time. You know how everybody was laughing at how bad the surprise interview was? Totally, it's all intentional, Cameron.
That was so tightly scripted.
Yeah, that time where I thought I had got my Secret Santa gift, but it was actually just something for my sister.
We had to do that.
It was all planned.
We had to do that a few takes. There was a few takes to get it exactly right.
Yeah. There were some times where I was laughing, and you could tell the laugh was disingenuous. Yeah. So, like I knew that it was actually, so it was really hard to get that right.
Sometimes it's bloody hard to keep a straight face on this show.
Yeah. But thank you for adding in CN for after so long. I've got another one here. It's from Varun. Hello, gentlemen cunts. It's been a while. I have been working a lot lately. After coming back, I have noticed a lot of changes. The biggest one is the gentleman cunts thing. I don't feel like going back from episode 215 or so, but may I know why that started? Also, how is Melbourne doing with the Delta variant?
Bad.
Worst regards. Now, listen to this part. Worst regards, fuckhead podcast listener. Colorado, California, Wyoming, New South Wales, ACT, and youth correspondent, Varun.
Now, okay. Let's address the elephant in the room first.
Yeah.
Had this said fuckhead / podcast listener, maybe they identify
perfectly
as both.
Acceptable.
We've never said people can't identify as both.
Yeah. But just gone for the full fuckhead podcast listener.
Now, I appreciate the audacity of trying to slip it by us and see if we don't know. I 100%
just throw it in there.
Respect the game.
Yeah.
But they need to respect the consequences that are about to come.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I would say, when people ask to be a podcast listener, we normally put a suspension on the ability to do it. I think last time it happened, we said it'll be 6 months before you are eligible again, I think, to become a fuckhead podcast listener.
We make up the rules.
Depends how we're vibing. What kind of repercussions are you vibing for someone trying to sneak a fuckhead podcast listenership bias.
Yeah. This is what I think. I think it's not an insult to us so much as it is an insult to the current fuckhead podcast listeners. So,
of which there are only 2?
There's only 2 at the moment.
But
I think if you claim it without actually having it, it's an insult to them.
Yep.
So they can, without any consequences, bitch smack you.
Yeah. Okay.
And that Dory and Hazim, you can both at any point freely, with no consequences at all, bitch slap Varun, and that's.
I am very interested in the idea of. I think our policy was, if I remember correctly, once someone becomes a fuckhead podcast listener from a specific way, that way it gets bricked up and no one else can do that again.
Yeah.
But spur of the moment fuckhead podcast listener pressure tests. So, like, perhaps one day we just randomly call someone from the Discord, ask them a single question. If they get that single question right, they will be a fuckhead podcast listener. But they get no preparation. They don't know what the question's going to be. And
that could be good. I think it needs to be a little difficult, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want some of these,
absolutely.
These easy,
it's not like, what's the third segment of the show each week? No. We're talking like, it'll be a completely random subject. So it could be chemistry. Like, it doesn't have a rhyme or reason. And people get one question. And then as soon as one person gets that question right, we'll never do that again. No one else could ever become a fucking podcast listener again. So this could be maybe a reoccurring podnapping where we pressure test a random call to a random person with a random question until the first person gets the question right. Yeah. They will get the fuckhead podcast listenership, and then we'll never do it again.
Sounds good. Good.
Great.
Can one of the reasons also be if you donate the most money to us?
Yeah.
But we don't put a time limit on it.
Yeah. And, we reserve the right to not announce it for some time.
Yeah. You know what? We could say who's in the lead, but, you know, we want people to keep upping the ante, you know?
Yeah. And I will also say that if we do start our international snack PO box, the best international snack could become a fucking podcast listener.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, but I like this idea of, because it is a very exclusive club, but I like the idea of gambling with it a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as gentlemen cunts, to answer some of the questions, I believe from memory it started. We were talking about the greeting, especially in Australia, the greeting of oi cunt, and how people either insult us or they call us gentlemen in the emails. And it kind of evolved out of a hybrid of that, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, earlier than that, we were for some reason offended when people just didn't call us gentlemen, which we had no reason to claim at all. But
I believe gentlemen was started by Cousin Rowan. In fact, it was just the greeting he did every time.
That's true. And then the Delta variant in Melbourne has going. it's really sucking. Not as much as New South Wales.
Yes.
We had there's kind of been this joke. So there's the joke. I don't know. There is the.
It is a bloody joke. Am I right, Nelson?
It's a bloody joke. No. So the Melbourne Premier, let's say Mayor.
Sure.
For outsiders, I'm not sure, but I'm going to use that term.
Senator.
Maybe. Anyway, person who looks after the state.
King of the state.
So the king of the state of Melbourne has been pretty strict with his lockdowns, and in general has kept the sort of COVID from sort of spreading that much. And we've had a lot of lockdowns. Melbourne's had the most. I think I mentioned that earlier in the show. And New South Wales had a sort of outbreak, and the king or queen, perhaps in this case, of the state, famously at the very start of this outbreak said, "I hope we can show the king of the state of Melbourne that you don't have to go into a strict lockdown." Anyway, the slightly funny thing about that, but also very serious and not that funny, is that New South Wales now has more cases than Melbourne ever did.
Yeah.
And so
the sweet irony of it is, There are now just compilations of absolute hubris from the Queen of New South Wales. Just prior to them having to lock down completely, they had a bold campaign which stated that New South Wales is the gold standard of COVID responses because they've never had to have a full lockdown.
Yeah.
Within a month, they were fully locked down. They also they did ask whether or not other states, including Melbourne, who was in lockdown at the time, could send their vaccines since they were in such a bad lockdown. Sounds reasonable until the clip emerged from not 1 month ago in which that same Queen of New South Wales said, we're not going to send our vaccinations to Melbourne. We need them here. There are so many. These are just two off the top of my head. There are so many instances. There are compilations upon compilations of something that this particular Queen has said, and then something that happened quite immediately afterwards that would absolutely contradict that. So yes, New South Wales have been hit particularly hard with it. Melbourne, we are locked down. We are locked down specifically because of people from New South Wales at the moment. Two removalists or movers came across the state and brought the thing with them.
There's already state rivalry between New South Wales and Victoria, and that's just heightened it, I think.
But to essentially, New South Wales is the person that farted in the elevator, essentially, at the moment. And to prove just how bad that is, New Zealand have had a phenomenal run of no cases whatsoever. They locked down hard at the beginning for about a week, and then they've been open pretty much ever since. So they had to lock down again about a week or two ago because one or two cases came through and it started to spread. And they did actually confirm, they managed to trace it back, that also came from New South Wales. So they went international with their spreading of the Delta variant.
Oh my God, because they did are doing such a poor job of, she's basically just said now, we're gonna
have to live with it.
For people. I saw somebody put together the meme of in Shrek, Lord Farquaad, where he says,
many of you may die.
Some of you may die, but that is a risk I am willing to take. That's basically what she's saying.
Futurama. When Zap Brannigan is saying how he defeated the Killbots, and he said, they have an inbuilt kill limit, and once they hit that limit, they shut down. So I just sent wave after wave of my Menathum till they reach their limits. And then later on he says, what do you need, Leela? Whatever it is, I'm willing to send wave after wave of my Menathum.
Anywho, thank you, Varun, and thank you, CN, for writing into us. If you would like to write into us, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at Facebook, Twitter, and subreddit. They're all READIT podcast.
Also, thank you for everyone that joined our Radio Survivor podnapping.
Thanks everybody. That was really great. If you want to join the Discord and maybe be part of season 2 Survivor, I was telling Cambo before we even did it, I was like, I've started to elaborate heavily on how we can actually flesh this out. I'm still not sure if it's possible, but but if you maybe want to be part of that,
join our Discord.
Join our Discord
is in the show notes.
In the show notes.
I would also say, do people want us to do these pressure testing questions to become Fuckhead Podcasters stuff? If you're in the Discord, you'll be eligible. We can't tell you when it'll happen. We can't tell you the subject, but you will have a chance to be a Fuckhead Podcast listener for just one question.
Just one question. It's almost too good to be true, Cambo.
I
know. All right, so that's it. Thanks for listening, and we will read you later.